where did I find the next symbol, guys? I think we all kind of know because I was obsessed with it. How can we draw this again? And that's the break. No, wait. Let me make the break bigger. Sorry, everybody. But this is how we do it. And then I'm going to make the break. I'm going to exaggerate it because I need to draw on it. But like, okay. So we'll call this the birds. This is the river. Okay. These are our birds here and here. Okay. And I was obsessed with the middle here. Right? Let me get a better marker again. I got to buy some new markers, guys. Can't really buy markers for you guys, though. Let's go. So, we got our bridge, and we got our bridge. Right? And I was obsessed with this middle area. Why was I obsessed with this middle area? I couldn't tell you. I can tell you now. We had our eagles. Eagle. Right? Fuck. Screw it. You know what? Eagles are arrows. We learned that from the guitar, right? The guitars pointed us to where we needed to be. So on our next step, there's another hint. We move to our next step, and we're going to carry what we learned over. So we're going to carry over the actual object being an arrow, or the actual symbol, I should say. So we had those two eagles at the top of the mountain, one here, looking that way, one here, looking that way. And I was, what do I do here, right? I can't go both ways. You go to the middle, all right? I don't know any sports fans here. If you got somebody going that way, somebody going that way, you go right up the center. Boom, bing, bada boom, bada bing. Oh, Bob's your uncle, okay? Little man for you guys. You can tell I'm excited because I know I'm onto something. All right, so I'm in my bridges. I go to the middle, right? Especially once I realize those are arrows, there's nowhere else to go in my mind. I need to go to the center. Screw the cave, screw the window, rock, all that stuff. But I'm here, and I've already searched this. I've gone through this extensively. This was the first thing I suspected, it was in this area. Why? Go back to my rules, right? And you'll remember it just made sense to a couple things that were already hit, that I would find something here, in the middle, in the center. But I couldn't. It was crazy, and I was making videos, I was posting, I threw some things up on Reddit, couldn't figure it out. I was looking all over the rocks with my camera, trying to figure everything, looking at every wood object. I started with the wood and then moved to the rocks. I was doing the bridge, like underneath all of that. I couldn't find nothing. I didn't expect I would find anything. That's one of the reasons I wanted help, is because I never would have found those wood symbols, ever. And I play this game a ton, but those, I don't look close up to stuff like that. So that's why I wanted everybody's help. So what did we learn in our last steps? Well, I learned a few things. I learned that symbols can be a lot of things. Symbols can be landmarks. Okay? Landmarks. They can be arrows. Are there any arrows around? No. No arrows. What else? I'm racking my brain here. What else? There's no landmarks, right? There's a bridge and a bridge. Well, what was everything made of? What's a landmark, really? It's like kind of like an immovable object. It's going to be there for as long as you need to be, or forever if possible. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. So I started looking at the rocks, right? And I'm zooming out and I'm looking at everything, and it's still not working. So I go to the map because I realize, okay, my guitar was connected. We're clearly going in some sort of line here. One of my rules was, are they connected? So are they connected? And the reason I got that is the guitar was connected to the birds, and I figured the next thing would be a connection somewhere. So I started looking at the birds, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, does anything look like something? And all I can see is this guy. That's what I'm saying. So they're throwing in distractions too, right? Because like if you got this right in front of you, you're not gonna notice this, and that's gonna happen a lot. It's Rockstar style. I don't know if you guys have played these games. That's exactly how it works, right? Like, but anyway. And I noticed something on the map. It doesn't look like anything, but it kind of reminded me of something I'd been looking at in the center here. And what was I looking at in the center here? Well, I'll show you. I made a crude drawing. Yeah, I know. That's a horrible drawing, guys. That's a horrible drawing. So bad. But this is roughly the shape I found, and I was able to link it up with something on the map. Now, that could be a lot of things. You know, that could be like a cat. You know, like here's this paw. Maybe like there's an eye or something. And I didn't see a tail, but maybe there's a tail over there. And, you know, I don't know. It doesn't really matter what it is, though, because... Here, I'll just show you. This is what I think it was, and I'm probably way off. But, again, it doesn't matter, because I matched it up with a shape on the map. So, to me, I know, it's not close. It's not... nobody sees it. It's a cloud, okay? But I saw a turkey. And... I think it's a turkey. Here's another reason I think it's a turkey. Not only did it look like a turkey to me, but the last symbol was the double bird. So that was Rockstar giving us the double bird. In case nobody picked up on that, I didn't spell that out for you. You know, and if you don't know what a double bird is, Google it. So, you know, it'd be fitting, like, with the next step for them to just straight up call me a turkey. So I kind of started looking for turkeys on the, like, where am I going to find a turkeys? Like, maybe it's where we hunt turkeys and stuff like that. But it wasn't. I was able to match it up with somewhere on the map. There's your hint, guys. Okay. And I'll tell you how I found it. You go up to here where I'm talking about, and you're in between the two bridges. There's a rock. And I can't remember if you're either standing right on the rock or standing right here, but you take your camera out, and then you zoom out, and you look down, and you're going to see that first shape I was showing you there, this one. Okay? And I know that's real rough. Once you see it, you'll see it, though. And then once you see that, you should be able to line it up on the map. And then if you're paying attention to everything I said before... Like, we have rules. What do we know? What can we use from the last step, too, right? So, video games, guys. Video games. When you're playing Zelda. Hey, I'm wearing a Zelda shirt. That was convenient. You're playing Zelda, you get a new tool. Right? You get your slingshot or something like that. They immediately force you to use the slingshot. Okay? You learn how to use it. You're playing with the slingshot. You use it to defeat that enemy in the dungeon where you collected the slingshot. Now, and that's how everything goes. It's like, hey, here's a new tool. Now here we're going to teach you how to use it. That's what's happening here. Every step we get a new thing that connects to the last step and pushes us forward and pushes us in a direction. We're going to learn a new skill on each step. We're going to learn something that we're allowed to do with our symbols on each step or each level. And then that's what I can give you for now, guys. I will give it, I swear, I'll keep updating you, and if this doesn't make sense, you don't believe, just pay attention. It's gonna. Look, I'm a nobody. I'm not. You guys, for all I know, everybody's going to get mad and come here and murder me, okay? I'm not going to make up this stuff. I play this game a lot, way too much. Not, like, here's the thing. It's like, I'll play it for, like, a month, and then I won't play it for, like, 2 or 3 years. I'm not up on the lore and all that stuff. I've only done the storyline, like, 2 times. I just like screwing around. I've done all the missions. Here's another thing. Here's another hint I'm going to give you. So I didn't complete the parakeet mission. That's the only one I actually didn't complete that we're allowed to complete. Wink. I don't know if I'm in frame. Wink, wink. So I started killing the parakeets, and then and I was like, oh, I also have this Dreamcatcher mission sitting here. And then I read up that on how to complete it, and it was like, oh, it's a bug. And, I'm like, my brain went like, well, that's crazy. That's not a bug, because why wouldn't you be able to close out the mission? They would fix that. But anyway, I just accepted it because nobody knew how to close out the Dreamcatcher, and therefore I didn't care. I stopped caring about the parakeet because I was like, well, if I can't close them all, I don't care anymore. So if I go to my log, I got the parakeet and the Dreamcatcher sitting there, and I've been thinking about that, and I'm gonna have to go find those parakeets and kill those off because I want to close out my Dreamcatcher mission. Because that's what we're doing. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. Like I said about how everything didn't make sense. The reason I was saying I played the game a lot is like I just rode around and screwed around in the game a lot and just noticed things and had fun with it. And I think that's why I'm picking up on this stuff, is because a lot of the stuff I always notice, I was like, that's a weird shape. Like the guitar and the fort. I've always thought the fort was shaped oddly. So boom, it just triggered it in my brain. And then other things on the map were always weird to me. They just look weird. They don't look like nature. And everything looks like nature. Everything intentionally looks like nature, but then something would pop out. And I don't want to say man-made because I know this isn't man-made. This trail that we're following, it's not man-made, right? Think about it. We started with the pentagram, and I got to a preacher. Okay, and that's the mad preacher, and he was telling me I went the wrong way. We're following the path of the devil, and so I'll give you that much. I'm sure, or maybe I don't know yet. I can't be 100%, but we started at a pentagram. So what are we doing here? It's got to be the devil, right? Not God. It could be either one. I guess it's 50-50, but I think we're following the path of the devil. We're creating some kind of map, and it's going to be related to the Dreamcatcher thing. If you think about it too, like this is how I know it's related to the Dreamcatcher thing, is because there were other missions in that lot. Like everything else, most of the missions, you would finish them, you get the checkbox. Once you hit that last checkbox, it would just disappear. There was another mission or two where that didn't happen. Right? Like you finish it, everything would be checked off, and then I'd have to go online and be like, why is this still here? And then it would be like, oh, you got to go talk to this dude or do this thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I'd go do that, and then it would just disappear from my log. So that 99% sure, guys, that's what's happening here. And all the little weird things that I noticed in the game that I kind of assumed were bugs, a few of them aren't. They're man-made things. Here, I'm going to give you guys one that I think is going to come up later. Don't go there now. Follow what I'm doing. But just to give you an example, if you go right behind Window Rock, like right before you climb up Window Rock, and so let's say I'm behind Window Rock, so I'm behind the Eagles. I'm right in the middle behind the Eagles. I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to look directly that way. And there's always been this weird rock formation there that isn't quite something, but it is something. It's always looked like a cowboy to me, but it's never been relevant in the game. I've Googled it, see if anybody else noticed or cared. It's never come up. I even posted on Reddit, like, hey, does this look like a cowboy to anybody? Like a couple of times. So go look at that. You'll see I'm sure you'll see it, like some layered rocks. That looks like a cowboy to me, and I've had that in my head since the start of like, that's gonna come into play somewhere down the line. We're gonna run into that guy. We're gonna be looking for a cowboy, and boom, there he is. Yeah, I don't know if I got everything. I jotted some notes here. Let's make sure I got it. Connect the map, the bird. I'm a turkey. Video game history. Yeah, keep in mind your video game history, like just how video games have worked in the past. I kind of covered that here, the Zelda thing. If you guys have ever heard of Zelda, I don't know, um, but yeah, that'll help you. That'll definitely help you. You're learning. We're progressing. That's the other reason I'm worried, and I'm just throwing this stuff out. Like, just go find it because I'm gonna need help. This is gonna get really hard. Uh, I think this is gonna get super hard. Like I said before, when we were in the first level, at first I was thinking like the pentagram was the first level, and then we're going up levels, and we still kind of are, but now I'm thinking of it more like Super Mario World, where we're only in the first world. If you ever played Mario 3, we're in World 1, level 7, like the ice one. Okay, I think maybe we're about to get to the castle. I think I maybe got to the castle last night actually, and slayed the first Koopa kid. That's why I'm so confident right now. Um, yeah, they definitely rewarded me with my nonsense here. So that's kind of where I think we are though, and that kind of scares me because I played the hell out of Mario 3. I can never beat World 8. I like not without cheat codes or the P Wing. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna need you. Please listen to everything I've said. Hopefully, you're making some notes, jotting some stuff down. Follow my rules. Go to the center of the eagles, zoom out, and look for my turkey. Okay, and then, like I said, try and match that with something on the map. Once you do that, you should be able to find our next clue. The next one was pretty obvious. Good luck, guys.